Right, so we're here back again on week 2, right? Introductory Form 3 Physics. And this week's class is going to be on the efficiency of machines. Now, before we get into the efficiency of a machine, we need to recap just a little bit what is a machine. So we have learned previously, in the previous term, that a machine is any device that is capable of one or more of the following things. They can either multiply force, multiply distance, or convert energy from one form to the next. That third class of machine, the one that is the energy converter, is the one that we will want to take a look at today. Because today we will want to learn as well how do we calculate the efficiency of that machine. Right? Now, first of all, the work done by an energy converting machine, of course, is to convert input energy into some sort of useful output work done. So, for example, if you look at the household bulb, right, the job of that bulb, which is in fact a machine, is to convert electrical energy into light energy. So, as you can see here, on the board, the energy conversions that take place in a filament lamp. So this is the bulb here, and the energy input, of course, is electrical energy. When that electrical energy comes into the bulb and heats up the filament then produces light. Right? So the work done, the useful energy output, or the work done by the bulb is to produce light, right? And of course, some of that energy is also converted to heat. This heat, unfortunately, is lost to the environment and is considered as wasted. Notice I said wasted and not destroyed. We cannot destroy energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, but can be changed from one form to the next. That's a law of conservation of energy that you learned previously. So what you realize is that I use a term here, useful energy output, or work done. It seems that we measure the amount of work done by any machine in terms of how much joules of energy, or output energy, it produces. So we have input energy coming in, and the output energy, right, or the work done is measured in the amount of joules of energy that is output. Of course, no machine produces more energy than its input. It will always produce less output energy, and most machines, if not all of them, will have some level of wastage. No machine really comes close or is actually 100% efficient. Most machines are less than 100% efficient. So all machines have energy input and energy output. The energy output, of course, again, is the useful energy output or the work done by the machine. This work done by the machine, all right, can be measured in the amount of joules. So that's how we measure work done in physics, in the amount of output energy that the machine has, right? So that's in the case of the bulb. In the previous week, we looked at different situations, right, different machines, and how they convert their input energy into output energy. So for example, when we looked at the blender, for example, the blender takes in electrical energy, converts most of that electrical energy into kinetic energy, and wastes a little bit in sound and in heat. So the work done by that blender, right, is to convert electrical to kinetic. Of course, not all that electrical was converted to kinetic, right? So our job today is to be able to figure out how efficiently these machines use their energy. In this case, we want to know basically how much of the actual input energy, right, is actually being converted into useful energy output or work done. Right? Of course, the more useful energy output or work done is produced, right, or converted rather, the more efficient the machine is. Basically, we are looking at how much of this input energy is actually being used for useful work. And that, of course, brings us to this formula here, the percentage efficiency formula. So we can calculate, in theory, the efficiency of any machine, right? And in this case, the percentage efficiency. So I'm going to use the bulb again as this example. But first, before we look at the bulb and how efficient that bulb may be, right, we need to look at the formula. So as you see here, percent efficiency or percentage efficiency is really the ratio of the amount of energy produced by the machine, or useful output energy or work done, to the input energy that is put into the machine. So it's a ratio of the output energy to the input energy. And of course, to get a percentage value, we multiply by 100%. Now, if this is very clear, let's take a look at a common example of a bulb. So the bulb takes in, let's say we have a bulb and 50,000 joules of energy, of electrical energy, has been input into the bulb, right? And the bulb, of course, converts it into light energy. 40,000 joules of light energy has been produced or converted by the bulb into light. And the bulb gets hot, so 10,000 joules of energy has been lost into the environment, right? So some of that energy has been lost. So not all of the 50,000 joules was converted to light. Our job now is to figure out how efficient this bulb is in actually converting the input energy that's coming into it, right, into actual light, into work done. Remember, the job of this bulb is work. The work done by this bulb is to convert electrical energy into light energy, right? So if you look at the formula, it's a pretty simple formula. So we look at the output energy in terms of the useful output energy. The useful output energy in this case is a light being produced. It's 40,000 joules. And of course the amount put in was 50,000, right? And if you multiply by 100%, that gives us 80%. What this 80% is telling you is that this bulb is 80% efficient in converting the energy that it receives, electrical energy that it receives, into light, right? So that means 20% of the energy is not converted into useful work done, and is often wasted. In this case, it's wasted in the form of heat, right? So this basically is the formula that is used to calculate the efficiency of any machine. It is worthwhile to note that no machine is more than 100% efficient. If you do a calculation and a machine is said to have 110% efficiency or more than 100% efficiency, most likely what you did was that you would have put the input energy on top and the output energy below in the formula. It also says to you that if a machine is 110% efficient, it's actually creating energy. And the law says that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but can be changed from one form to the next, right? All machines are either, well, not either, they should be less than 100% efficient. Now, just to give you an idea, the filament lamp, the average filament lamp is actually very, very poor in efficiency. This is just some numbers I use to make the calculation easy. But very often these filament lamps waste quite a lot of energy. They're only up to 15% efficient, which means they waste 85% of their energy in heat. Alright? So basically at this stage, this is the formula, right? And I think once you can identify what the useful output work done in any system is, right? And of course it's measured in joules. We measure the amount of work done by any machine and how much joules of energy, joules of work it has done, right? And we can figure out how much energy is input. We can calculate the efficiency, right? So that's basically what we are here to do today. I would like for you to, of course, attempt the assignment. It's the Word document. Click on the Word document, the button on the website. It's a very, very simple couple questions. And I hope that this has been simple enough. And if there are any questions, please feel free to email me or comment on the video, and I will try to address your questions as best as I can. So that's it for week 2. Thank you, and I will post the answers to these questions at the end of the week. See you soon.